C-Dub on the beat.
Story that we've been tracking as we take a live look at the White House. By the way, 6:45 on the East Coast, 3:45 out west. One other major thread we've been following this week is the death of the penny. Let's get out to another piece from Fox News where they discuss.
President Trump wants to make the penny extinct.
And we are now a step closer to making that happen. The U.S. Mint said Thursday it has made its final order of the materials used to make pennies, meaning it will stop putting new pennies into circulation by early next year. After that, it will be time to start saying a nickel for your thoughts, or just use your card to pay.
We're moving to a cashless society. People use credit cards or debit cards and so on. So the penny is actually not being used as much.
But by 2026, there likely won't be enough pennies to use in cash transactions, so businesses will need to start rounding up, which will raise prices for consumers.
Prices will now be rounded up to the nearest dollar, which means that most customers will end up paying 1 penny more than they were before.
The move is the culmination of a long bipartisan effort to do away with the lowest denomination of American currency. The penny, worth 1 cent, cost nearly 4 cents to produce, but it still has its fans who say they'd like to see it stick around.
I know that it costs more to make a penny than it's actually worth, but we're big fans of the penny. Keep the penny.
Meanwhile, some business owners who rely on pennies to make a living say they're considering legal action.
Maybe we should take a trip to Washington and ask to speak to President Trump and Elon Musk and see if we can cut a deal.
Lawmakers introduced 2 bills this year that would permanently kill the penny, but there is no vote scheduled for either.
Hello.
How are you guys?
Good, you okay?
Not bad. 77 pound 3 pence, yeah?
Yes, that's right, yes. Okay. Doesn't work. Oh, there we go.
How do you do it?
Magic.
Huh?
Magic.
Oh, magic.
Other references can be found in Revelation 14:9, 11, 15:2, 16:2, 19:20, and 24. This mark acts as a seal for the followers of the Antichrist and the false prophet, or the spokesman for the Antichrist. The false prophet, the second beast, is the one who causes people to take this mark. The mark is literally placed in the hand or the forehead and is not simply a card someone carries. The recent breakthroughs in medical implant chip and RFID technologies have increased interest in the mark of the beast spoken of in Revelation chapter 13. It is possible that the technology we are seeing today represents the beginning stages of what may eventually be used as the mark of the beast. It is important to realize that a medical implant chip is not the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast will be something given only to those who worship the Antichrist. Having a medical or financial microchip inserted into your right hand or forehead is not the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast will be an end times identification required by the Antichrist in order to buy or sell, and it will be given only to those who worship the Antichrist. Many good expositors of Revelation differ widely as to the exact nature of the mark of the beast. Besides the implanted chip view, other speculations include an ID card, a microchip, a barcode that is tattooed onto the skin, or simply a mark that identifies someone as being faithful to the Antichrist's kingdom. This last view requires the least speculation, since it does not add any more information to what the Bible gives us. In other words, any of these things are possible, but at the same time, they are all speculations. We should not spend a lot of time speculating on the precise details. The meaning of 666 is a mystery as well. Some speculated that there was a connection to June 6, 2006. However, in Revelation chapter 13, the number 666 identifies a person, not a date. Revelation 13:18 tells us, this calls for wisdom. If anyone has insight, let him calculate the number of the beast, for it is man's number.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is your host, Most Great, Daily Dollar Short News, man. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 1,000 wow. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time this Daily Dollar Short News vlog drops. And on today's topic, we are talking about the New World Order, the mark of the beast. When I was a youngster, a teenager, I think I was a junior or maybe a sophomore, or maybe my sophomore up into my junior year. I used to attend the Awana Club, and this van would come pick up, some of the homies in the hood and take us to this, they had an indoor gym, and they would show us these movies. And one of the movies in particular, I can't even think of the name of the movie, but it was about end times, and it was about Revelation, and it was about the mark of the beast. And a lot of the things that it showed in the movie is very relevant to today's time, whether you're religious or not, right? It's eerily similar, some of the things that they say in Revelation as it relates to today's times. For one example, and this movie predates like late 70s, early 80s, man. It was a real retro throwback. You could see, from the clothing and the way people spoke and how they would, how they carried themselves, that this was an older type of film. But they had these cameras on a telephone poles and on light poles that read your license plate number. And I was just, looking at some of the stuff like that in LA. They got that stuff in major metropolitan areas, San Francisco, LA, New York. Just a lot of different things that's relevant to today's times they have now. They were talking about the mark of the beast, and people were going into stores and purchasing things with their forehead and their wrist as well, just like in today's modern times. So what say y'all, man? Do y'all think that we are in the last days? Could there be some truth to the claim that thou shalt not buy, sell, or trade without the mark of the beast? Because it's summing up to in pennies being taken out of the circulation is just one measurement that they're taking. Eventually the nickel and, all the change eventually is going to be taken off. Then, the fiat currency. And then next thing you know, you're going to be chipped up because they're going to say, oh, well, people keep losing their cards. And they already had a dilemma about how many card numbers. They're running out of numbers. They're running out of numbers to print on these cards. So with people losing and misplacing their cards, they're eventually going to, there eventually have been a shortage on numbers that they could issue out. So I believe that that's going to be the phasing everyone into receiving the chip. But the video previous to this, they said that doesn't necessarily mean that, that's the mark of the beast, But what say y'all, man? This is your host, Most Great, Day Late Dollar Short News. Tap in and tell a friend. We out.